At 10, another election day is in the books, where the race stands for the next mayor of the city of Dayton.
And we're following the results for a proposed sales tax levy in Greene County. The upgrades the levy would provide for law enforcement.
Plus, U.S. health officials give final approval to Pfizer's kid-sized COVID-19 vaccine, when Dayton Children's Hospital plans to roll out the shots to 5 to 11-year-olds. But first, here tonight at 10, thousands of voters went to the polls today, casting ballots in races ranging from mayors and city commissioners to tax levies. One of the biggest races in the Miami Valley came at Dayton, where Jeffrey Mims Jr. and Rennis Bowers squared off to be the city's next mayor. And take a look at the results right now, with 93% of the precincts reporting, and it's Mims with a sizable lead at this point, with 68% of the vote right there, over 9,500 votes, with Bowers pulling in just 32% of the vote right now, that with 93% of the precincts reporting. Now, this race not official yet, with more than 20 precincts still to report. And 2 News is your local election headquarters, so we have team coverage for you tonight across the Miami Valley. Let's start with 2 News reporter Riley Phillips, live in Dayton. She's been covering that mayoral race. Riley?
Yes, Brooke, things are going well here at the Mims camp. He and a group of his supporters are gathered here at Coco's Bistro in Dayton to kind of watch the results as they come in tonight. Now, as you said, Mims took a big lead to start the night off. He is a well-known name around Dayton, working in the school system for years and being a community activist. And I just spoke with him moments ago, and he says he's excited to get to work if he's elected. He spoke about transparency and the work he wants to do to make sure everyone living in Dayton knows what is going on in their government. He also says his first order of business will be job creation if he's elected. Rennis Bowers also had a watch party this evening as well to see the results come in for him, and we're trying to actually reach out to Rennis Bowers for a comment. Of course, you continue to get updates on this race both on air and online. Reporting live in Dayton, Riley Phillips, 2 News, working for you.
All right, thank you, Riley. Also tonight, 4 candidates are vying for 2 Dayton City Commission seats as things stand right now, with 337 of 360 precincts reporting. It looks like, let's see, 29% of the vote right now. Turner Sloss and Fairchild are the top 2 contenders here at the moment. Fairchild, obviously an incumbent, and one of those seats left vacant by Mims Jr., who is, of course, running for mayor of Dayton.
In Greene County, results for the Issue 1 sales tax levy on the ballot remain up in the air as votes continue to come in. Now, if that levy does pass, this would bring updates to county law enforcement. That would include a new jail.
And 2 News reporter Madeline Ashley is live for us in Greene County after talking with the sheriff moments ago about where things stand. Madeline?
John, Brooke, I actually just got an update as of 10:02 with result reports, and as of now, only Election Day and absentee votes have been counted and released for Greene County Issue Number 1, which shows only 85 more votes against the sales tax levy than for, so it's pretty close right now. I'm standing outside the Greene County Jail, which, if the levy is passed, this building will be replaced, and it's something local leaders and residents have mixed feelings about. The Greene County Board of Elections proposed the Issue 1 sales tax levy in hopes of supporting upgrades to the county's administrative and criminal justice system. If approved, the sales tax would be 0.25%, and that means breaking it down 25 cents for every $100 spent that would be invested in the levy. The funds would construct a new Greene County Jail, Administration Center, and Adult Detention Center all in one building. The current county jail is 52 years old and has leaks, broken pipes, and rusting bathroom conditions for inmates. However, those opposing the levy say the problem isn't needing a bigger building, but cracking down on why so many are incarcerated.
And this levy is about building construction only. There's nothing in there that deals with the root causes that lead people to incarceration.
If I can't house them here, we're going to have to find a place for them in another county. So, and I'm fully aware across the state of Ohio, sheriffs are transporting inmates from one county, multiple counties away, and we don't need to do that here in Greene County. And
if approved, the levy would last 16 years, and we're going to continue to keep you updated as more votes continue to pour in and we get those results. But for now, live in Greene County, Madeline Ashley, 2 News working for you.
All right, thank you, Madeline. Let's check in on that .25 mil renewal levy in Greene County. With just the early votes in right now, it is passing with 76% of the vote. This will raise just under $1 million each year and cost the average homeowner $875 per $100,000 of home valuation a year. This money would help maintain Greene County roads and bridges. The levy will last 5 years, expiring in 2025 if it does pass.
And in Englewood, you are seeing a big edge for those voting to approve rather than those voting against this levy for the fire EMS levy. This would replace a general fund levy, which would allow money to be more directly allocated to fire and EMS. This includes maintaining salaries for full-time employees, costing the average homeowner $3.82 per $100,000 of home valuation a year. Still some precincts yet to report, but so far 72% of the vote in, 72% of the voters are voting for this levy in Englewood.
Officials in Montgomery County say they had a lower turnout compared to presidential elections, but it was average for an odd-year election. In Montgomery County, a little more than 11,000 people voted. Nearly 7,200 people voted by mail and 4,100 people voted in person. Officials say smaller elections often mean fewer voters.
Every election is important here at the Board of Elections, but for voters, one of the reasons that municipal elections can be so important is because it influences what your children are being taught at school, your local tax rate.
And you can find all of our election coverage and keep tracking those results, whichever races you might be following, on WDTN.com. Just click on your local election headquarters under the News tab.
All right, and turning to weather now. The vote is official. It's getting cold outside.
Another chilly night here in the Miami Valley. Let's go right to Storm Team 2. Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis with your forecast first. Hey, Brian.
Brooke, John, yeah, tonight already in the 30s.
WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News at 10 on Dayton CW.
And we start tonight with breaking news out of Dayton, where an officer and a suspect are both injured after a shooting.
Dayton police report the officer is listed as stable. That suspect is in critical condition. That shooting happened at the intersection of Lakeview Avenue and Ingram Street in Dayton. Those streets now closed and blocked off at this time because of a large police presence there.
Yeah, we have 2 News reporter Caroline Morse live for us at that scene. Caroline, describe what you're seeing there and what you've learned about this situation.
Police have been here on scene for nearly 3 hours at Ingram Street after reports of an officer-involved shooting. Now, you can actually see behind me that there's still a heavy police presence as the investigation is underway. Now, we have seen Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Dayton Police, Moraine Police, Riverside Police, and Sinclair Community College Police have all responded. Now, we haven't spoken to police yet here on scene, but they've been very active on Twitter, stating one officer and the suspect have been injured tonight. The officer is stable and the suspect is in critical condition. Now, we don't know the events that led up to the investigation yet, but once again, you can see a very heavy police presence here on scene. Now, Dayton Police actually tweeted out they're going to be having a press conference here any moment, and we'll be live streaming that here on WDTN. Live in Dayton, I'm Caroline Morse, 2 News working for you.
All right, thank you, Caroline. This is also video from earlier tonight outside of Miami Valley Hospital. You see officers there standing on the sidewalk, as well as those police cruisers lining the street. Now, we did not hear officially from Dayton Police that the officer was taken to Miami Valley Hospital. However, in situations like this, often police show up in support outside of the hospital, and we did learn that the officer is listed as stable, so we do know that the officer was transported. Again, that was the scene earlier tonight outside of Miami Valley Hospital, and as Caroline mentioned, we are awaiting a news conference with new information from Dayton Police here as you can see right there.
Yeah, this is a live look at the Dayton Safety Building, the backside of the Dayton City Safety Building, where we are expecting to hear from Dayton Police here momentarily to give us some more details about this situation again tonight. Again, the confirmed details at this point are very few, and we are waiting in just moments to hear, assuming that we're going to hear from Interim Chief Matt Carper here in just a couple of minutes. And we're going to bring that news conference to you live as soon as they start that. We'll carry it live right here.
From WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News at 10 on Dayton CW.
And breaking news tonight, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base officials confirming within the last 30 minutes they are responding to reports of an active shooter prompting a lockdown situation at the base.
They tell us security forces are sweeping the area of the NASIC building right now. We do have a 2 News crew on the way to the base to figure out what the situation there is, but the base is on lockdown, so we will keep you updated here on air and online through the 2 News app as we learn more about that breaking situation. And we are still following breaking news tonight. Right now, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is on lockdown after reports of an active shooter.
And that call came in about an hour ago. And base officials say security forces are currently sweeping that area. 2 News reporter Allison Gens is live outside the base. What do we know right now, Allison?
Yeah, Brooke, John, standing right here since we got on scene. You could hear that announcement coming over the speakers at the Air Force Base saying lockdown, lockdown for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. We've also seen some emergency vehicles drive by as well. I'm going to take a step off so you can get a look at what we're seeing at the entrance to Wright-Pat right here. Now, we did get some official word a few minutes ago from Wright-Pat's chief of engagement, and he says at approximately 9:25, the emergency responders were responding to a report of an active shooter at National Air Space Intelligence Center in Area A at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Now, security forces are currently sweeping the building and the base is on lockdown. You can see that there is a lineup of cars that we've been noticing out front of the base here, but not too many details. Everything is fairly limited at this time, and we are working to find out more about what is going on here at the Air Force Base, and we will continue to keep you updated both on air and online.
Now at 10, heavy rain and high winds tonight as tornado sirens go off across the Miami Valley. We're tracking the damage left behind. And now flooding is an issue. We're bringing you team coverage tonight with live reports from Mercer and Montgomery counties. First here at 10, severe weather warnings popping up across the Miami Valley for the last 7 hours. And those storms are moving out of the Miami Valley right now. We want to go right to Storm Team 2. Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis for a look at what's happening. Brian?
All right, thanks, Brooke. Well, the good news is all the heavy rain is pushed southeast of our area, more down towards Cincinnati now.
All right, thank you, Brian. AES Ohio, formerly DP&L, is also reporting thousands of power outages across our area tonight. We're giving you a live look right now at the outage map. Earlier, it was Mercer County dealing with the majority of the outages, but right now, Montgomery County, there are 7,248 outages reported there. About 3,000 outages reported in Miami County, so crews are out there tonight working to restore power for those thousands of people that are in the dark. We're also bringing you team coverage of these storms. We want to start in Mercer County after a tornado caused the most significant damage there late this afternoon. 2 News reporter Allison Gens is live tonight with an update. Thank you, Allison. Live Drive 2 also been out there on the roads throughout the night tracking the storms as they move through our area. We want to check in with 2 News reporter Adam Reif to see what he has been experiencing out there. Adam?
Brooke, it is calm now after those storms. We're in Beaver Creek right now after several reports of flooding coming from Beaver Creek Police. First, let's show you some of the conditions that we are seeing right now out on the roads. As we take a look, you are seeing that the roadways are wet right now, but nothing heavy coming down. The wind has really calmed down as well. Those 3 areas that Beaver Creek Police talked about were Varner and New Germany Trebian Road. That's where we're headed right now. Dayton Xenia Road and Countryside, and Treadwell and Rockledge. Those are the 3 areas Beaver Creek Police are warning that has some flooding in that area. We did go past Dayton Xenia Road and Countryside. That was a very small area off to the side. it looks like some of that floodwater is starting to go away. But what we see right now is really striking. I told you it was very calm. The rain has not fallen now for about 40 minutes in this area. The wind is virtually non-existent. And so far, no damage whatsoever. There's no downed trees, no downed branches, no downed power lines. We did just pass North Fairfield Road and New Germany Trebian Road. That intersection, the traffic lights were out flashing red, but that's the only outage we have seen. There are very few homes without power in this area. We can't see them from the car, and AES's map, as you showed, just has very small pockets of outages in this area. But again, we are tracking and looking for any of the damage that's in this area, any of the flooding as well. And as soon as we get it, we'll put it online on Facebook and on Twitter and make sure that we have those updates on air as well. In Live Drive 2, Adam Reif, 2 News, working for you.
All right, thank you, Adam. And those tornado sirens going off across Montgomery County earlier tonight, forcing people across the county to shelter in place for nearly a half an hour. We're joined now on the phone by Montgomery County Sheriff Rob Streck. Sheriff, thank you for taking the time to be with us here tonight. We know some of the significant issues in Montgomery County right now are flooding and also power outages. What kinds of calls have you been receiving tonight?
Yeah, luckily, you know, there's not a whole lot of widespread damage like we've had in the past. So those are the main things that crews are out dealing with now. We do have a lot of roads that are flooded. We have power lines down, and then we have trees down. We've been able to work for the last hour or so. We've gotten a lot of trees out of the roadways. You know, the local road departments, the engineer's office, everybody's out. So we're trying to get those cleared up. But right now, that's our biggest hazard, and we just ask for people, if you don't have to be out right now, stay in and let crews do their job to clear the roads.
Yeah, we appreciate the hard work you're doing out there tonight. Have you had any reports of injuries or anything like that?
We haven't had any reports of injuries due to the storms. You know, there's been some minor property damage. It did cause some crashes where there were damages, or I'm sorry, where there may have been injuries, but that was due to heavy rain at the time, possibly. So that's as close as we came, luckily, you know, to injuries during those storms that rolled through.
All right, about 30 seconds left, and then we'll let you get back to work out there. What do you want to tell our viewers out there tonight as your crews are keeping busy with the aftermath of these storms?
Just once again, if you don't have to be out, don't be out, and you know, keep 911 and the 10-digit emergency number free for people who need emergency service, you know, and let dispatch do their job.
Yeah, we've seen several agencies saying people are calling 911 just to report flooded roadways, and that's obviously something you're asking people not to do. Save that for emergencies. Montgomery County Sheriff Rob Streck, again, thank you so much for talking with us here tonight.
Thanks, Brooke.
All right, and viewers have been sending us videos through the reported feature of what they're seeing out there throughout the storm. Beth captured this video in Bryant, Indiana. That's near the Ohio-Indiana border. You can see that funnel cloud as it moves towards the ground there. Hail also prevalent across much of the Miami Valley tonight. That came down in a viewer's backyard in Beaver Creek. We have several photos that people have been sending us. There we go. You see the hail coming down. In some areas, people are reporting golf ball size hail, which could be really damaging to vehicles or people if you were outside earlier tonight. Hopefully everyone is staying safe. That's the most important. But if you do have pictures or videos of the weather conditions or damage that you're seeing in your area, remember you can always go to WDTN.com to send it to us using the Report It feature. That's WDTN.com/report it. Send us those pictures and videos. Fill out that easy form there, and you can share that with us. You can also get severe weather alerts sent directly to your phone when we have those tornado warnings. You can track the storm on Live Doppler 2 HD or watch Brian tracking those storms through the live stream by downloading the Storm Team 2 app. An easy way to do this right now: take out your phone, open the camera, and scan that QR code. It will take you directly to the link to download the free app. Well, next here at 10, thousands of people in the Miami Valley in the dark tonight. We're talking to AES Ohio about how crews are working to restore power.
This is 2 News at 10 on Dayton's CW.
Now at 10, Governor DeWine sending a direct message to all Ohio school superintendents. His plea for schools to require masks for all students and staff, and an incentive program to encourage people to roll up their sleeves, where you can get $100 right now when you get your first dose of the COVID vaccine. First at 10, Governor Mike DeWine and children's hospitals in Ohio are sending a direct message to all school superintendents, asking them to require masks for students and staff. Let's now go to 2 News reporter Caroline Morrison. Caroline, you had a chance to speak with health officials after the governor's news conference. What are they saying?
Well, John, right now there's actually a mix of in-between emotions. Right now cases are rising in schools, but right now they're more focused on making sure that once masks are mandated, that we're hoping to see that difference in cases in schools. Now, I actually did speak with Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roberto Colon at Miami Valley Hospital, and he applauded Governor DeWine's message to superintendents.
I think that is absolutely the right call right now, where we are with COVID. In order to be able to keep our kids safe and in school, all schools really should be using masks when the kids are in attendance.
Keep in mind, according to the coronavirus dashboard, at this moment, barely over half the state has started the vaccination process. Live in the studio, Caroline Morse, 2 News working for you.
Troy City schools will start mandating masks for students and staff tomorrow. The district says in the first few weeks of school, they had as many positive cases as they did in all of last year. So far, 123 students have tested positive for the virus. The district says the new policy is an attempt to cut back on the spread and the number of quarantines.
We have had hundreds and hundreds of students missing school in those 18 days, and we know that children need to be in school. It's not all or nothing. I think we can implement it in a smart way, give kids plenty of opportunities to take them off. But what we need is for students to avoid being close contacts.
Northmont City Schools will also now require masks for all students starting tomorrow. According to the Ohio Department of Health, 135 students in that district have tested positive for the virus. In a letter to parents, the superintendent says they want to do everything in their power to get attendance back to an acceptable rate. Parents say masks in the classroom is not ideal, but others say masks are worth it.
No pandemic has lasted forever, and so if we can get through this particular variant, I'm hoping that we can get the masks off the kids certainly by spring, with the #1 goal being to keep them in the classroom.
I am 100% for the masking as long as it can help keep the kids in school.
You can find your district's mask policy on WDTN.com. Just click on this story. Starting today, Public Health Dayton and Montgomery County's new vaccine incentive begins. You can check out this line right here at the Dayton Metro Library in Huber Heights. That's where the first clinic was underway this afternoon. Unvaccinated people who start the COVID-19 vaccination process will get $100 gift cards with their first dose.
We've been working with the Ohio Department of Health to try to incentivize people to get the vaccine, and this is one of the ideas they're using statewide to try to urge people on. As we know right now, the number of cases are on the rise. We're concerned about that. So it's very important that you get vaccinated, but vaccinated quickly. So you want to get vaccinated as soon as possible so that we can stop the spread as quickly as possible.
The next clinic will be tomorrow at the Dayton Convention Center from 8 a.m. until noon. Public Health began with 1,000 gift cards to give out. Wheat Penny Oven and Bar closed early tonight after 2 employees were exposed to COVID-19. In a Facebook post, they say the employees are being tested and they hope to reopen at their normal time at 11 a.m. tomorrow. The Ohio Department of Health reports more than 7,300 new COVID cases in the past day. That is well above the state's 21-day average, which is nearing 6,000 cases. ODH also reported 111 more COVID deaths in the past day. 344 more people were hospitalized with COVID in the past 24 hours, pushing the number of patients in Ohio hospitals above 3,400. You can track the daily reported case numbers in Ohio on the 2 News app. Right now, just grab your phone, open your camera, and you can scan the QR code on your screen. That takes you to a link on our website where you can download the app for free. All right, now let's turn our attention to weather. Storm Team 2 Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis is here. Brian, a lot of sun during the day, but something else is catching your attention right now.
That's right, John. We have a line of showers and thunderstorms that's moving in from the northwest tonight. Just had a new warning come out, and that is for eastern Indiana.
All right, thank you, Brian. We are following up on a crash that left 4 people dead in German Township. The Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office says a teen suspect in that crash pleaded guilty to 4 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide. The crash happened April 30th on Route 4. 3 people died at the scene, and a 23-month-old later died at the hospital. Police say the 16-year-old suspect left the scene of the crash. He was arrested in June. Prosecutors say the case will remain in juvenile court. The teen will be sentenced October 1st, facing between 4 and 21 years in the Department of Youth Services. Coming up, Tropical Storm Nicholas is bringing more rain to Louisiana. Hear from the residents concerned about the threat of flooding while they're still recovering from Hurricane Ida. And next at 10, lawmakers are weighing in on the Biden administration's handling of the U.S. exit from Afghanistan. Why they say it was fatally flawed.